Welcome back to Monroe Tutoring. This is part 3 of molarity. In the first part, I defined what molarity is. It's a measure of concentration. It's moles of solute over liters of solution. In part 2, I gave you moles of a solution and the concentration in molarity and asked you for the volume. And now we're going to do the opposite here, okay? So let's read the question. How many moles of magnesium chloride are required to produce 750 milliliters of a 1.63 molar magnesium chloride solution? So we do have to know the definition of molarity, which is that molarity is equal to the moles of solute over the liters of solution. And once we know that, we can just take the molarity and rewrite it as a conversion factor. If you're given molarity in a question like this, you can just rewrite it as a conversion factor and use it to do dimensional analysis. So you don't really have to memorize equations, only the definition of the actual unit. So let's do that. Let's write this out. We have 1.63, and that's moles of the stuff, the solute, moles of magnesium chloride for every 1 liter of solution. 1 liter of solution. And so then we always take the given quantity and put it to the left. And that I've taught you this in many of the previous videos. You should check them out if you don't know, molar mass, dimensional analysis, conversions between moles, mass, and all the other things. It's going to be the same technique every time for these types of problems, because it's far easier to just know dimensional analysis, learn it once, and it's going to help you out for the rest of the course, instead of memorizing little tricks. Like there's triangles to memorize. How do I do molarity? Do I multiply by this or divide by this to get this unit or that unit? It's very easy to make mistakes like that and to memorize things incorrectly or just forget them and then remember them incorrectly. So I always suggest learn dimensional analysis and you will be golden for this whole course, okay? So let's get to it. We take the given quantity because milliliters is a quantity of stuff that we can have, right? I can have a beaker with 750 milliliters of a solution. You can't have a quantity of just molarity, right? It's a concentration. So it's not a quantity that you're given, it's telling you how strongly concentrated the stuff is that we're dealing with. So again, we always take the given quantity and put that to the left to do the problem. 750 milliliters of solution. So here we go, 750 milliliters of, I'm just gonna write solution here. And then we open up our parentheses and we put our fraction bar, just as I showed you in the other videos. And we have to figure out which side of this is going to go in the top and which side is going to go in the bottom. Well, we have milliliters of solution here, so that doesn't cancel in moles. So it's got to be the other side, but this is written as liters of solution. So there's two things we can do. We can either put the conversion factor to get from milliliters to liters right here, or at this stage in the course, you should probably know by now that there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, and we can just rewrite this so that we can cancel out the unit that we were given, okay? So let's do it that way. Simplify things. Instead of writing 1 liter, I'm going to write 1,000 milliliters because they are equal, right? So we're going to go and do this. That is going to be 1,000 milliliters of solution. And now we're good to go because that's milliliters of solution. Plug this in, 1,000 milliliters of solution. And the other side goes on top. That's 1.63 moles of magnesium chloride. Close this up and we can cancel out these units. And let's get the calculator and punch this in and see what we get. And guys, if these videos help you, please give a like, follow, share, save. Save it so you can review it again later, as well as checking out my links. If you'd like to patronize me, that helps me to continue making these videos for free. So now let's get to it. We have 750, and that's supposed to be point. So we have, significant figures. If you're not good at sig figs, check out my videos on that. I have two. One for how do you get the sig figs in the first place, and the other one's on how to use them in calculations. So we just plug this in. We have 750 mils times the 1.63 times 1.63 moles, and then divided by the 1,000, divided by 1, 2, 3, and we get an answer with a bunch of decimal places, and we have to know how many sig figs do we use in the final answer. Well, that has 3, that has 3, and this is kind of infinitely precise because it's defined as 1 liter. So this doesn't have sig figs down here. So we're just going to keep 3 sig figs in the answer, and that's going to round to 1.22, and the unit is moles of magnesium chloride, right? Moles of magnesium chloride, and that's it. All right, guys? So again, you can be given or asked for grams, and then you would just have to do another step here, and you can check out those videos where I teach you how to do these types of things with molar mass or conversions between mass to moles to molecules and all that. All right, guys? So again, if this helps, please give a like, follow, share, save it for later, and check out my links so you can patronize me. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.